The following program is sponsored by Freedom Financial Group, Greater Birmingham's premier retirement planning specialists.
Welcome to Retiring Well, where it's our job to help you enjoy financial security in any economy. Well, I am super excited about this week's show because we're in Dallas at Advisors Excel's World Series of Sales. It is the event that top financial advisors throughout the country come. They gather here to plan, share ideas, so that we can all serve our clients better. So sit back, relax, enjoy this week's show.
Retiring Well with Michael Reese, providing financial security in any economy. Today is the day you can take control of your financial future and eliminate worry about your money forever. Retiring Well with certified financial planner and retirement planning expert Michael Reese.
All righty. As I said, we're in Dallas, and it is the place for all the top financial advisors to gather to share ideas and do a better job for our clients. I'm really excited to be part of this group, and I'm really excited because on today's show, I'm going to interview a bunch of them for you so you can get a feel for why it's so important that your advisor is here. I'm standing here with Cody Foster, who is one of the founders of the organization that puts this whole event on. And, he won't tell you, I will. They are one of the true success stories in the financial industry. And they've put together this wonderful organization of top financial advisors. And, Cody, I guess I want to ask you, and by the way, you can tell I've just snagged him from the stage here, right, with his microphone still on. But, Cody, what I want to ask you is when you think about what you've put together here and all these advisors, as you talk to the viewers out there, what should they understand about how this group of advisors is so different?
Mike, there's a couple things, and this event is one of them. The group that's here, they're so dedicated to improving how they serve their clients. And, we've talked a lot about it the last few days, the value that you add and the strategies that you use. And I think that's a big part of it. I think the other thing is, as we've talked about in there, it is the strategies that you use. And I think too often people don't understand what their advisor's specialty is. And I know you talk about this a lot on your show, but, a lot of advisors really focus on accumulation. And this group is really a lot more about how do you protect your money? How do you turn it into cash flow and income in retirement and, guarantee that income that you're not going to outlive? And I think that's an important thing. I think people have to understand, especially for the people that watch your show, and I know you talk about this a lot, but do you have the right type of advisor for where you're at, the stage in your life that you're at? And a lot of people are really good at helping you accumulate assets and get to that retirement level, but you really got to shift your focus, and that's a lot of what we've talked about over the last few days.
And by the way, you put together, and I tell the folks, this top group of advisors, we get together, 3, 4, 5, we get together a lot. And from your perspective, what is the value of all these advisors for their clients in getting together all the time to kind of brainstorm?
It's a great question. What I would say is a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So being able to get together with a group of other top advisors and really share concepts and share ideas and talk about challenges that your clients are facing and how other advisors are using some of the different products and strategies and tactics out there to help solve those problems, I think is one of the biggest keys. And the dedication that these people show by coming together and really working on improving the value that they provide to their clients and having better solutions is probably the thing that I would say is, made this group so successful, and yourself included in that, and really allowed you to really help your clients.
Well, those are great words. And folks, by the way, you may not know it, Cody and I have been friends for 10 years, I think, and I really appreciate our friendship. I know he's got to get back because he's one of the main guys on stage. So, Cody, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Mike, thank you, and thanks for everything you do.
All righty. I'm standing here talking to my good friend Chris Slight, Managing Director, Global Financial, and based out of Sarasota. Chris is one of the thought leaders in the industry. He gives speeches all the time to all of the advisors around here. And Chris, I got to ask you something. From your perspective, you're out there helping clients. You're helping with retirement and being safe and secure. Mm-hmm. what do you gather? What do you get out of coming to events like this?
You know, I think when you come to events like this, we tend to get so isolated and in our own world as advisors with the select families we represent. To be able to get around a group of peers, and I think a group of independent network advisors where we can all pull together with the same thought pattern and share ideas with each other.
So you find it valuable to get these ideas, but come on, you're out there giving ideas to everybody else. I mean, are you telling me you really get ideas from events like this?
Absolutely. The neat thing about all of us as advisors is we all start specializing in different areas. We all have different marketing ideas. We all share different ways to meet select families.
Let's talk about a customized retirement plan. Retiring today is not what it used to be. What works for your neighbor may not be best for you. Yet everywhere you turn, it seems like financial firms are giving cookie-cutter advice.
Your circumstances are different than anyone else's. As a chartered retirement planning counselor, my Retirement Roadmap Review is designed to uncover the must-know facts for your situation before we start implementing solutions.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
I managed to snag one of the top advisors in the country, Eric Peterson, out of Des Moines. And is that right? And so Eric, and I see him here all the time. He's always coming to these events. We've become good friends. And Eric, tell me this. I mean, you're one of the top advisors in the country, yet I always see you at these events. Why do you keep coming?
Well, I know as an advisor that I can't know everything. And the only way that I can learn more is to come to these events. And I'm rubbing elbows with some of the other top advisors in the country and learning what's happening with them. And you always pick up those little pieces of knowledge that you need. We're also finding a lot about regulatory issues and things that are impacting our industry. So, you know, we need to always constantly upgrade our knowledge base. We can't know everything, but we need to know where to turn to get that. And these events are a great time for us to learn that stuff.
And as we go to these events, I mean, I know I'm always going because I'm learning different things to help my clients out there. I'm sure you're doing the same. But, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people in our industry, they don't really go to events like this all the time. Or when they go, let's be honest, they're more busy going out than staying in and learning, right? So how do folks out there, what are some good ways that you can think of where to help the questions they could ask, if you will, that would help them better understand the degree to which their advisor pays attention to continuing education?
Well, they could ask for the advisor to show them what kind of education they go through. You know, I spend thousands of dollars a year to go to events all over the country. I have books and syllabus. I have to take online tests with some of my certifications. You can also check with the National Ethics Bureau, Better Business Bureau. But really, if your advisor is not investing in himself to grow his knowledge, how can he really bring new ideas to you? And we've kind of learned that the old school stuff is not working anymore. You got to know what's out there to really help clients, and you got to go and educate yourself.
You know, I love that statement, that the old school stuff isn't working anymore. You do have to stay on top of things. And just to kind of wrap up here, I know you want to get back in, but from your perspective, are there maybe a couple takeaways that you'd want to share, a couple things that you've learned or ideas, or maybe even just things you already knew that were really cemented in that you gathered out of this event?
I think that the one thing I took most away from this is that, you know, there's Wall Street or financial services has broken the trust of the American people, and we have to rebuild that trust with them. And, you know, we're moving towards a trust-based firm, which means that we're throwing away all of the, you know, fact-finding and stuff like that. We just want to have an open conversation with people to find out what their real issues are and build a trusting relationship with them so we can show them exactly how we can help them.
I love that. Folks, I got to tell you, you know, this is the reason you want to be working with people that come to events like this, is you want to work with guys that are on the cutting edge like Eric. Eric, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, I'm here at the Advisors Excel World Series of Sales event. It's basically an event for financial advisors to help continue our training. And I'm standing here with Matt Zagula from Pittsburgh. He's a great friend of mine. Like me, he trains financial advisors throughout the country. And, you know, Matt, I have to ask you, you know, you're here and you're training people. What do you get out of events like this? How does it help you better serve your clients in the Pittsburgh area?
Mike, I think especially in today's world, things are always changing. Things are evolving. Laws are changing. The markets are changing. Planning is changing. So by getting together with a group of like-minded advisors who are committed to client, who are committed to bringing the best solutions to their clients, it's a must. If your advisor's not doing this, then they're doing you a disservice. So it's just about the collective wisdom of a really good group of advisors.
Yeah, and Matt, you, like me, have trained hundreds and hundreds of advisors throughout the country. This is a pretty special group, isn't it?
Oh, it's a fantastic group of advisors. I mean, the thing about teaching, when you're teaching it folks at such a high level, is their ability to take your concept, your idea, and evolve it into something that ultimately we all benefit. It's a true mastermind group because of the level of intelligence of everybody. So ultimately, you may have a good idea, you share it in this environment, and it becomes from a good idea to an absolutely astoundingly great idea that benefits everybody's clients. So it's a must to be here.
All right, I'm talking to Isaac right now. Isaac, you're in Richmond, Virginia.
Correct.
And Isaac is one of the top minds in the financial industry. In fact, you are going to be giving an event this fall, as I understand it. You're going to be talking to 200-300 advisors out there. Isn't that right?
Yes, we're going to try to shoot for October, but we're excited about being able to put together a really good program for all the advisors to learn about how we handle our process at our firm.
That's fantastic. So here you go. You're a guy that's actually teaching everybody else here, yet you're here at this event. So why are you here? I mean, don't you know everything?
Nobody knows everything. I think you have to have a sense of humility and really anything you do as a profession, because here at this, here at our event today, it's just so much that's out here that information-wise you can learn from. Just this morning we've learned 2 or 3 more ideas that we can implement in our practice, and that's what it's all about. I think for me it's exciting to learn, and that's the main thing.
And you can take those ideas back and better serve your clients and help them with their retirement, correct?
Absolutely. If you look at today, Mike, you already know this, man. Every week there's a new something or another that comes down the pipe. So you have to consistently learn, and if you're not willing to do that, it's a disservice to your clients.
Traditionally, American retirees could look forward to 3 strong pillars of retirement income: a well-funded Social Security system, substantial corporate pensions with retiree health benefits, and a strong personal savings rate. Unfortunately, the booming population coming of retirement age has changed all that. Now, the responsibility for providing retirement income has largely shifted away from the government and employers to you. That's why we're offering a powerful, full-color special report, which explains the 10 most pressing variables you must consider when creating a sound retirement income strategy for the years ahead. You can get this informative report for only $4.95. Simply go to www.retiringwell.tv and click on Get Your Reports to order your copy today. But hurry, this is a limited time offer while supplies last.
Let's talk about ways to protect your principal that have the potential to earn a decent return. Many of you want your money to be protected. That makes a lot of sense in today's unsettled economy. But it's difficult these days to find a place that pays you a reasonable amount of interest. It's frustrating. That's where we come in.
Ways to protect your principal with the potential to earn a decent return are available if you know where to look. We evaluate them every day.
It's one more reason that now more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
All right, now I'm standing here with my really good friend Jay Tyner from Greensboro, North Carolina. Jay, you have been, I know, all over the national media, CNBC, and all the other places, right?
Yeah, I've been on different stations. Also had several feature articles written in Wall Street Journal and several other publications.
Yeah, so in case you don't know it, already you just learned that he's way smarter than I am. So he's one of the true national experts. So Jay, every time I come here at events like this, and these are some of the top advisors getting together regularly, and I see you're always here, you're always taking notes. And here you are, you're writing in the Wall Street Journal, you're on CNBC. Why do you come? Why is it so important? I mean, every time you're here, why is that so important to you?
Well, I think the most important thing is to find out how I can help my clients. Because if I'm not in the game, if I'm not always trying to figure out what is happening right now that I can help my clients with, then I'm not doing them the right service. So it's important for me, even though I'm stepping out of the office, I'm not able to help current clients for the last 2 or 3 days, I will be in the future. So it's important for me to come to these events, find out what the experts are saying, and also kind of find out some of the secrets, because we're always, Mike, I know you know this, when we come here, we find a couple of things that we didn't know before, and it helps us help others.
You know, it's kind of like what Stephen Covey said in his book, it's sharpening the saw, right? Because we don't really know what we don't know. So when you, at an event like today, I mean, actually today, yesterday, last couple days, are there any nuggets that kind of come to your mind that you're taking away, thinking, you're going back, you say, you know what, these are a couple things that you're thinking about that maybe that you learned, maybe it was new, maybe it was just reinforcement of something you already knew. Are there just 1 or 2 ideas that will better help your clients as you're visiting with them in Charlotte? I'm sorry, you're not Charlotte, you're in Greensboro.
In Greensboro and Winston-Salem and High Point in the Triad area. You know, one of the biggest things I think that I have found here, and I've known it for a while, is that the mutual fund industry just seems to really take the edge off clients being able to make money because of all the internal fees. You've got the obviously the disclosed fees, but then there's turnover cost and all of this that takes away from the opportunity and the potential for a client to make money if they're going to have the money in the market. And so that's why we've, for many years, have had a completely different philosophy, and we don't use mutual funds. In fact, I'm kind of piggybacking off a friend of mine that's here. His name is Rob Russell, and he's written an article that basically says mutual funds are for poor people. And, you know, that may sound and strike you funny, but if you realize that an actively managed account is much better in this environment, this volatile environment that we're in, with everything that's going on, with the interest rates being so low, the environment of high volatility, all of this, in order to navigate the next 10 years, if you're a pre-retiree, if you're a retiree, you need to know about this, and you need to have somebody like myself here in the community that you can sit down with face to face. I think that's really important. I know these guys, you know, they have these internet programs, you know, they're on the radio, but they're not even in your community. I'm here. I'm local. You can sit down with me, and the most important thing that I feel for anybody is to get a second opinion. It's always wise to get a second opinion. And I'll tell you, Mike, if you come in and sit down with me and you're in good shape, you walk out of the office, you'll have a cup of coffee, we'll have spent an hour together, but I'm not going to take away from what you're already doing. But if I find a problem and you want to solve the problem, I'm here to help you.
You know, and I love what you said, too, your takeaway that, you know, for years, I know you haven't been using the mutual funds. I haven't been using them either. A lot of hidden costs. But that's a great example of here was something that worked in the 80s and 90s, but it's not working anymore. And I think that's one of the big takeaways that I got here, too, is, you know, just because it worked before doesn't mean it works now, right? Well, listen, I know you got to get back. Jay, thank you so much for spending a minute with us. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you, Mike.
Alrighty, I am now here with Joel Johnson, one of my really good friends. He's from Hartford, Connecticut. 22 years in the business, right? Yes. So, Joel, I have to ask you, you've been in the business 22 years. You've been one of the main speakers at events like these.
Correct.
You know a lot. Why do you still come to these?
To stay sharp. It's the best want to be with the best, and I want to hear ideas. I want to see the discipline that people carry out in their lives on a day-to-day basis. I want to learn about not just business, but also overall quality of life. And if I'm not hanging around people that are committed to those things, I'm going to get dull. I want to stay sharp.
So what are some of the things? Are you still learning things when you come that can help your clients when you come to events like this?
All the time. We actually build a budget into our business plan that is for education, and most of that is me going to events like this, getting ideas and rubbing shoulders with people that are also committed to staying absolutely at the top of their game.
And as we talk to our viewers out here, if you had one word of advice, I mean, the caliber of people here are quite different from what you normally see in the financial community. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think that there is a higher level of deep caring for, almost all of us have been financially successful, so it's not about that anymore. It's about really giving to our clients, to having an impact on their lives, to making sure that, when I step out of this business, the legacy I leave behind is families out there that have a better retirement, a better quality of life for their kids and grandkids, better, more able to give to their charities and the things that they love and care about, and that's the impact I want to have. And so by staying sharp, making sure we're committed to those things, staying around people where it's not about making money anymore, because we've all done that. It's about having a commitment to those around us and our communities that we live in.
Thank you. And Joel, I think he said it really well. When it comes to choosing a financial advisor, these are the kind of people you want to be choosing and hanging out with. Joel, thank you. I know you want to get back in there.
Thank you, Mike.
Really appreciate it.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right, I'm standing here right now with Tad Hill, one of the top financial advisors in the country. And, Tad, I know you and I, we come to these events all the time. Why do you keep coming to things like this?
Well, really, Mike, it's the same reason that you do. It's so that we can continue to improve and make sure that we're doing the best job for our clients, because the world's changing all the time. Information's changing, the laws are changing, strategies change. So it's critical, if we're going to do a good job for them, that we are keeping up with those things. And so that's why we're here, right?
All right, so that begs the question, what have you learned at this event? What specific item are you going to be taking back to better serve your clients in the Birmingham area?
Well, the point that I want to make to everybody is that it's not what you know, it's what you do with that knowledge. So knowledge is important, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that we take action. And with all the things that have been happening in the country and in the global economy, one of the things that I see regularly, the biggest mistake that people are making is that they are hesitating to do the things that they need to do to control their own retirement. And that's what we help people do. We help them control their retirement so that we have a secure, predictable future and that we can have the retirement that we want. But the only way to do that is to take action. We have to put a plan together and execute on the things that we can control. And the good news is, if we do that, it really doesn't matter that much what happens around us. Most people have done a good job of saving for retirement. You hear all these stories about, people aren't prepared. Our clients have done a great job of preparing. Now it's just putting that plan in place.
So it sounds like for you, from this meeting, it's really clarifying that in order to turn uncertainty into certainty, people out there, you can't just sit on your hands. You actually have to do something and take action.
That's right. And the good news is, there are strategies today, even in all these turbulent times, that can enable you to have the secure retirement you want. And Mike, you know this, but the point to the people today is that it's available to you. You just have to put that plan in place.
Okay, that's great information. I really appreciate it. So here we go, yet another top advisor. We're all getting together, making sure that we can provide the best planning for all of you watching out there. If you're in Birmingham, make sure you're talking to Tad.
Let's talk about retirement income. Studies show that a large number of retirees are worried about running out of money. Broken promises from banks, Wall Street, and the folks in Washington, D.C. may have you worried about your own retirement security.
Having a predictable income stream is a key ingredient to protecting your retirement. One potential way to do that is to have your income stream based on math and not markets.
It's one more reason that now, more than ever, you need to talk to a retirement planning specialist. Why not call the number on your screen right now? We'd love to talk to you about protecting your retirement.
Okay, I'm standing here with one of my very good friends, Chris Hobart, who, I don't want to say this about him, but he actually does know a few things. He knows a few things. So anyway, I like to joke, but, Chris has trained a lot of these people here. Hundreds of, the very best advisors in the country have gone to his events to listen to him share his strategies. So, Chris, we like to have a lot of fun, but it is about business. From your perspective, what is the value of coming together on a regular basis like this to share ideas?
When you're out in the field and doing what you do, things get stale. You need fresh ideas. You need the encouragement, and getting together, even with somebody like you, can get you pumped up. And
Thanks for that one, by the way.
Well, after an event like this, you want to go out, you want to do better, you want to do better for your clients, and you've got new, fresh ideas that you can bring to them, which is really cool.
And you're in Charlotte, right, North Carolina. Very big practice there. You're certainly one of the leading advisors, not just in Charlotte, but really throughout the country. You're on CNBC and Fox and all those places. As all these people out there, think about our viewers out there. What are some of the things that they might be hearing today from their advisors that you would say might be a warning flag?
I think a lot of advisors right now are just ignoring the stuff that they need to be talking about, and it's because they either don't know about it or it's inconvenient for them. The things that consumers need to be worrying about right now are paying too much in fees. The problem is most of them don't know where to look for fees. But we're seeing, like in a mutual fund, the average fees 2.5%, 3.5%, but people don't know about that. The other thing is taking unnecessary risk right now in the markets. There's ways to make money in the markets. There's ways to make money with your money, but we can't be stupid about it. We've got to be very smart. We've got to be strategic. We've got to make sure we stay on our path, and there's ways to do that.
So, as again, watching with the viewers in mind out there, what would you tell them they should be doing if they have any questions in the back of their mind regarding their current advisor?
I think the biggest thing is to talk to somebody that knows something. Get a second opinion. The thing that I always tell folks is, if you trust your advisor so much, then you should trust them enough to get a second opinion. And go to somebody that is truly a fiduciary that works in your best interest, that's not selling you a product, not selling you anything, but actually looking out for you and is legally bound to do the right thing for you.
All right, our show's coming to a close this week. I hope you have enjoyed this little different format. And it gives you a glimpse, if you will, inside the minds of some of the top financial advisors throughout the country. The folks we talked to today represent the absolute cream of the crop. And this is where I'm going to ask you to do something. You see, Albert Einstein, a famous quote of his is that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, yet expecting different results. Well, I don't want you to take that risk with your retirement security. I want you to try something different. And so what I want you to do is this. If you have saved at least $250,000 for your retirement, what I want you to do is I want you to pick up the phone, call the number on the screen. And what will happen is, it's a 24/7 line, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's a recorded line. Just leave your name and phone number and maybe address, and we will connect you with a local retirement planning specialist. In fact, probably one of the people you saw interviewed today. We'll make that connection, and I want you to sit down with them and just have a conversation, a relaxed, comfortable, no obligation conversation where they can take a look at your retirement from a different perspective, one of a specialist. And you never know. This might be one of those conversations that make the difference between being financially secure in any economy versus only being financially secure when the markets are cooperating. I don't want 2008 to happen again, and I don't want you to get caught in that. We know it's going to happen at some point. I just don't want you caught. So pick up the phone, call the number, and connect with a true specialist. All right, that's our show for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a terrific week, everyone.
The preceding program was sponsored by Freedom Financial Group, Greater Birmingham's premier retirement planning specialists.